Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level game of StarCraft 2. Today, in the top left, spawning as the blue Zerg player playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's going to be none other than Dark. And in the bottom right, spawning as the red Terran player playing for Shopify's Rebellion, it's going to be ByuN. Alright, ByuN opening up with a Reaper Expand, which is something we don't see him do every single day. And when we do see him open up with Reaper Expands, often it's with multiple barracks before the expand. This is the standard for the majority of Terran players in the world. But for ByuN, this is anything but the standard. This is an odd opener. He managed to actually take out these mineral patches over here with his scouting SCV. Allows his Reaper to get in a little bit quicker, even before the links are out. This is some good control out of ByuN. ByuN might get a lot done here. Gets the first link immediately. Second link also most likely is going to fall. So we might actually see 2 links go down here, even though 6 links got built at the start, initially. Oh, maybe this drone. Can it die? Can it die? Yep, the drone can die. Drone dies, link dies. Reaper gets out. Good opener here for ByuN. This is what Terrans dream of. Follow-up is going to be with the double gases here. We see the factory already swapping with that barracks as well. And the starport on the way. Question is there going to be a tech lab here for a potential Banshee? Maybe even a Raven? Or is this going to be a Viking opener? We have been seeing a lot of Viking openers lately. Of course, Banshee is also still very popular. Ooh, this bad boy is going to go back in. There's no Zergling speed. Yeah, there's not even Zergling speed on the way. So, what's the deal here, Dark? What you doing, buddy? Okay, it's going to be a Roach Warren. Perhaps going for an early 7 to 9 Roach aggression. Trying to do a little bit of damage, but with the fast Banshee and the Cloak, I don't think this Roach Warren should be capable of doing anything. Perhaps for Dark, this is more going to be like a defensive Roach Warren, more so than an aggressive Roach Warren. Maybe afraid of any potential Hellbat attacks. Of course, ByuN has been known to do them Hellbat attacks a lot. Really just a crap ton of Hellbat attacks. But we'll see. 2 Overlords are on the way. 50 out of 58 supply. 2 more Queens finishing up. There's a couple of larvae available and drones aren't being produced. So this seems like it's going to be... Yep. Roaches. 3 Roaches on the way already. 3 more Overlords are about to finish up. And we'll see the rest of the Roach production start here. This is going to fall flat on its face. The question is, I guess, will Dark be capable of taking out this CC? That's big. These depots, that would be nice. It's only going to be, what, 7 Roaches? Yeah, 7 Roaches here for Dark. Hey, it's just going to be a Banshee out. I don't really see this as a viable attack at this point. Dark could walk through this little thing, though. I mean, there's just no way. He can't even get across the map properly, which is a big issue. He does see all of these Hellions. He's just gonna need to stay at home with these Roaches. It's gonna be used as a defensive tool here rather than an aggressive tool. I don't think that's exactly how Dark wanted it, but it is what it is. He did manage to skip all of his links and link speed as well, so we'll see what has been called the Cave Bob build here. It's a build order that is, well, relatively caveman-like, as it is extremely easy to play. Or, well, it's extremely easy to play at a decent level. It's extremely difficult to play at the highest level, because Terrans basically get a free pass to do whatever they want for a very, very, very long time. When you play the Cave Bob, the goal isn't to kill your... Terran player, your opposing Terran player with a 1-1 Roach push, like we usually see someone like Rogue do, or even see Dark do oftentimes when they get those fast double evos. Go for the 1-1. No, the goal with the Cave Bob is to get into lurkers as quick as possible and then start making plays. So you see the Infestation Pit and the Hydra then go down pretty quickly. We have 2 Banshees going in here. Pay attention to those bad boys for a bit as well. 6 workers getting absolutely blasted. 1 more drone could die here. Not quite going to. Queen will fall. 7 workers, 8 workers, 9 workers, and a queen. Painful start here for Dark. who so far is only going into that infestation bit. We don't see the Hydra then going down yet. Could also be Roach Ravager Infestor. He has been known to just build 2-3 Infestors. Yeah, here we go. Before getting the Hydra then. Now we see the Hive. We're still gonna see a Hydra then, of course. Yep, here it is. I think he might have just forgotten it, because usually you want to start your Lurker then as your Hive is building. Lurker then and Hive very similar times. Which means that the moment the Hive finishes, you can start your Seismic Spines, your Adaptive Talents. Which of course, if you're not aware, are the upgrades for the Lurker. Seismic Spines, the +2 range, and the Adaptive Talents makes them burrow a little bit faster. Make them dig into the ground a bit quicker. Fort base extremely late here for Dark. It's on 70 workers already. It's going to be slightly oversaturated on one of his bases. See the Lurker then go down right now. That's still about 50 seconds away, and this Hive is about to finish up. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually about a 14-second difference. 71 seconds for the Hive. 54 for the Lurker then. So usually the Hydra then and the Infestation Pit get thrown down at the same time. And then by the time the Hive finishes, you can get your Lurker upgrades. Not quite the case here. Combat Shield also finishing late. 1-1 is also slow. I don't really think this is going to be the most important drop of the game. I don't even think this is going to matter too much. We have a lot of Marauder production. This surprises me a little bit, that we see ByuN starting to move out, but at the same time, the supply for Dark is just so low. It's actually ridiculously low. It's painfully low even, I would say. 146 supply against a Terran that is at 150 supply as well. Even upgrades. I think there's almost no advantage here for Dark whatsoever. Actually, there is no advantage. His tech is late. His eco is basically worse. Same/worse. Why does ByuN keep starting the +2 armor first? It's actually pissing me off. Every single time I watch him play, he starts the +2 armor first. And it's just worse. It has no real use. If you have units with a fire rate as high as the Marine, you want to be getting those attack upgrades. There's, oh my god, huge fungal on this clump of Marines. Are all going to get taken out here. Tanks are also gonna fall. The push gets pushed back. And thus is a push no longer. At the same time we have this little squad here on the top side, and we'll be capable of taking out this hatchery. Seems more like a decoy base than anything. There are no drones mining, no gas is even being taken, while this bad boy is already mining. Extractors being taken. There's no real oversaturation, maybe in the main, couple of workers, yep. 8 workers of oversaturation could just move to the 4th base. If you don't go above 75 workers, having a very fast 5th base isn't actually all that necessary. And you can afford to have a decoy at times. I'm always surprised, by the way, that when Dark plays this style, he still tends to get a bunch of links. Even though they don't really tend to do anything. I mean, they don't have any upgrades on them. It's not like they're banelings and they'll explode all over their opponent and kill them. No, they just explode and... well, I guess the Terran units get a little bit of blood on them. I don't think they care too much. As long as it's the blood of their enemies. First 3 Lurkers are on the way here, though. That's going to change the pace of this game a little bit, most likely. As then, first of all, ByuN is going to have more difficulty finding real damage with drops, with attacks. And also this could allow for the first push out of Dark. Vipers are out as well. So he really does have a setup here. 5th base now is being taken. If a Roach Ravager attack wants to be capable of taking out this armory, barely doesn't get it. Dark's gonna turn around, throw down a couple of biles and say, adios my friend. It's been a fun time, but so long amigo. And pisses off. 4th base extremely later for ByuN, by the way. Was focusing a lot on unit production over getting those extra CCs. Often we see players get their 4th CC at like the 7-minute mark, starting it at the 7-minute mark and then flying over at 8. This CC is like, for a 2-gas opener, at least 2 minutes late. That's very slow. That really is very slow. A couple of roaches here are gonna get caught. It's not the end of the world. The unit lost is actually in favor of the Zerg right now, which is odd, to say the least. Something you don't see every day. Lurker count keeps growing, and with the Lurker count growing... ooh, we have a 3rd Evo on the way as well. Look at this. +3 armor starting as well, way before infantry weapons. I don't mind that he continues with the upgrades as they finish, but it just looks a little bit silly. It really does. First Knight is on the way, and this is the kind of the way that Dark tends to operate. To get himself a Nidus, sometimes even 2 Nidus networks, he'll start spamming them in the main base. He'll start spamming them outside of his opponent's fort, outside of his opponent's 5th base. Look for damage. That is what he does. Now, we have the Numitai Carapace, so it's the first Overseer on the way here. Dark has stayed extremely calm so far this game, and is just completely content going into a late game here against ByuN. ByuN known for good ghost control, by the way. Really knows how to use him. This is just barely in range of this tank. This tank is covering a lot, by the way. All the way from the left to a big portion on the right side as well. I've seen Maru just get 1 Viking and control it in his dead space forever. Just forever. I think that works pretty well. This Overseer is going to get taken out here if Dark isn't careful. Well, Dark was careful, but lost it anyway. Nidus network. Ah, you gotta be kidding me, right? Yeah, okay. Good stim. Yes. Scam. It is what it is. A couple of these Marauders are going to get taken out as the Ravagers are dishing out their damage. Lurker count is at 12 right now. The majority of the Lurkers, actually all of the Lurkers were in the Nidus looking for a counter attack. This base could potentially actually fall as the damage output of these units is very high. Instead, we're going to see a couple of Lurkers go down. That's 2 Lurkers that get blasted here. No fungal, no parasitic bomb. That was an error. I think he should have died, and now ByuN decides to drop. Loses a bunch of his Marines and Marauders. It might actually end up losing... oh, this medevac as well. I think he is going to lose at least 1 medevac. Good barrel on the Lurker at the same time in the middle with 2 tanks, 1 Marine, and Marauder, and about 7 medevacs. Cleaning up 4 or 5 creep tumors. That's dedication to the cause of cleaning creep. That's big. Ghost count is growing already as well though. We're already at 3 ghosts at this... 14 ghosts at this point. 3 more on the way. 5 command centers are being constructed currently. Majority of those are going to turn into orbital commands. And you really just see a very passive game in which, well, not a whole lot is happening. We have some drops, we have some minor attacks, but the big fights haven't happened yet. I mean, this is about 1,000 resources lost total per minute, both players combined. That is a low average, knowing that you're mining 2,600 minerals and about 1,500 gas a minute. It's not a whole lot of resources that are being lost. Lots of investments being done into the late game, into tech, into upgrading units, and of course into armies as well. These armies are pretty fierce. Those are gonna move back home right now. We'll get there. This is a big army. This is a very large army here. And the problem for ByuN is often that it's difficult to engage into this if they're already in position. If they're not in position, your ghost can just rapid fire with the snipe, take out 2-3 Lurkers at a time, and the tank's providing backup. That is what you want. And this once again, fantastic trade here for ByuN. It's gonna take down 2 Overseers. I think 3-4 Lurkers fell as well. 4 Lurkers fell. Good trade. Definitely a good trade here. Not quite sure what Dark's plan is, but it seems to be revolving around taking this base early, and this is the base that I think will be contested out of ByuN. ByuN should... well, that's actually moving towards the left side. Often the direction... wait, what was that? What did he just kill? Did he shoot his own medevac? I think he did. The direction you expand in often is also the direction you're going to be pushing into. That's where the majority of your forces are going to be. Oh, Dark is actually moving in very quickly here. We'll get the big burrow off. Ghosts were slightly out of position. Balings rolling in. Vipers with the big blinding cloud on top of all of these ghosts right now. Lots of EMPs hitting as well, but this planetary is toast. As it gets eaten by these Hydras and Lurkers. 10 SCVs go down as well. And although... yeah, actually, no, this was a fine trade here for Dark. I was gonna say perhaps this wasn't the greatest trade, you know, efficiency-wise, but it actually is. It actually is a fine trade, but even if it wasn't, I think this is a good trade. because it trades out units from a player that has a way bigger bank. I mean, Dark has just been mining more in this game for the entirety of the game. He wants to trade. The longer the game goes, the closer we get to a split map scenario, the worse it's going to get for him. See, these lurkers actually dealing way too much damage. Sloppy control on the ghost. There is still 16 ghosts remaining though. Don't see all of them here. A couple of them probably still walking towards this area. Hydras are going to fall against the snipes. There's 14 tanks, 2 more on the way. Such a large tank count to back up these ghosts. Makes it very difficult to push into this position, of course. Now I have an army on the far right side. There's 5 tanks over here, but this planetary is still going to fall most likely. The tanks are going to die with it as well. 11 extra workers. ByuN had a couple of backup commands. He still has 2 command centers in the main base that aren't even morphed yet into orbitals. It's kind of wild. This can turn once again into a planetary, but the money's running low for ByuN. The money's also running a little lower here for Dark, but he still has somewhat of a bank. Also a decent supply. Gonna lose these lurks for free though. This was not a position he could really fight in. Not without Vipers at least. There is 4 Vipers on the way. All of them with full energy. Couple of blinding clouds. I mean, potentially could be seeing something here. 8 banelings moving on towards the left side as well. A couple more banelings in this army. I don't think would hurt. There is adrenal glands already. We have 2 types of cloak. Of course for the ghost and for the banshee. Banshee isn't going to be built once again in this game though. The era of the banshee is over. Lurkers, a bit of an awkward position. It's not even that many lurkers. It's really only 3. Good blinding clouds are going to help out, but this was a fight that if Dark could do again, he probably wouldn't. Go back in history and undo that mistake. He's been losing the fights a little bit. He is on 90 workers, so the income is high. The problem is every single time that ByuN just takes one of these bases, it feels very difficult for Dark to get anything done. And to really attack into it. If there's like 7, 8 tanks, on top of that you throw down like 10 mules, you immediately start mining a lot, even if you're on a low worker count. I mean, there's 1500 gas, and the minerals, they can just be gotten through mules. We have what? 5, 6 or command centers? 5 command centers right now. The 2 in the main, I think he forgot about them. That's a bad investment. That is a really bad investment. It's kind of painful. Here come the ghosts though. Ooh, cloaking up and sniping a couple of these lurkers. There's no overseer with this army. Well, there is. It's just not being used right now. I think 3-4 lurkers did end up going down here. Fungal does hit both of these ghosts, but the ghost will survive. You can see the... Oh! Oh! Oh, that was sexy. He knurled the ghost. And then EMPs. That's kind of cool. And now all of a sudden he's gonna go in. We have 1 more infestor. Gets the tank. I love these knurls on the tanks. He says you don't have any ghosts, which means that now I'm gonna be fighting you tank against tanks. These ghosts are really just useless. Don't get me wrong, they still have good DPS with just their auto attack, but attacking into pure lurker is not something you really want. More lurkers moving forward. There's so many. What's the tank? 16 tanks, 15 ghosts. ByuN is just playing a game of camping at this point. Doesn't really care about anything else. So we see a hopeful Dark that believed that he could push into this, but in reality he couldn't. Liberators on the way here, going to push back these lurkers. Ooh, it's beautiful. Wait, why aren't he attacking his own... That's a big sign that ByuN is giving there to the rest of the tanks, you know? Even if you get infested, we will not shoot you down. We do not do friendly fire here in the ByuN family. Going to be a pickup. Almost all of these marines have a personal medevac. Like 11 marines, 5 medevac. That is pretty wild. A couple of VIPs in here for sure. With some friends up in high places. Well, I feel like all of these pushes that Dark has been doing haven't really been going his way. Look at that. Almost 9k down. However, he's mining from this left side base. He's even trying to take this forward base. That's cool. That is actually really cool. Hey, ByuN, you're being so patient, and perhaps a little bit too patient, that all the resources are going to be mined out. You know, like, it's nice, this isolationism in a way, in which we kind of coexist in peace. But at some point you're gonna get some more resources, or you'll need some more resources. Oh, fungal, can it hit? No, it can't. It hit some of the links. Luckily, links are resistant to the fungal. At least the fungal from their own side. The fungals from the other side, of course, is a different strain that they're not quite used to. But that's what the lore would tell you. You have anabolic synthesis on the way, as well as the chitinous plating. Anabolic synthesis increasing the movement speeds of Ultralisk of Creep, of course. The chitinous plating giving them 2 extra armor. Oh, he remembered the bases in the main. Actually, is floating one. He's gonna fly it over to the far left side. And he's aware that there's a base here. He's also gonna try to fly an orbital? Now, this is the most ambitious project I've seen in a while. This is a look at that flank. I saw it on the minimap. I saw it happen on the minimap, coming from 4 angles. He just kind of moved in. Good burrows here on the lurkers, and ByuN really wasn't ready for this. All of the ghosts out of position. Now he's going to get a lot of these EMPs on the infestors. One fungal does manage to hit. 20 workers go down here. This was a fabulous fight for Dark. In that he killed a lot of workers. He got a decent trade. No, he got a good trade. A cost-efficient trade. Can he could just get another one of these ghosts, no? With the neural. A neural on the ghost, I think is what he's gonna do. Oh, good scan. That was on the edge as well. If he gets a neural on the ghost and an EMP, I actually think that ByuN would have been in some major trouble, because the ghosts are the only thing keeping him alive at this point. I mean, he's down 70, 60 supply. Not as far down though in army supply. He's actually almost up in army supply. He is still down. Being almost up still is being down. I almost made a profit of my stocks this year, but I am still down. When I say almost, I mean down 10%. But you know, life can be rough. And ByuN knows that as well. He's gonna probably surpass his opponent right now. His opponent has 72 workers, he's at 27. A couple of ultras joining the fray as well. 12, no, couple. It's a dozen of ultras actually. Gonna start moving in. Can a fungal hit? Can a fungal hit? It's going to be so crucial for a fungal to land on these ghosts. He's not going to get it. The ghosts are kiting back. Well, they haven't been doing a whole lot of shooting. It's more been like pure running back so far. These ultras are getting stuck though in between the SCVs and the planetary, and all of these ultras are going to end up falling. And this was a trade that Dark probably shouldn't be too happy with. I think he lost like 5k more than his opponent. He did end up killing 18 workers. And maybe right now... Wait, is this possible? I'm not quite sure. Is this going to be possible? I mean, there's 20 more army supply. How many more mining bases is there for Dark? So Dark still has his left side. Oh, this is fully mining. 4 patches here. 5 patches here. 6! 6 patches. He hasn't been mining here. Brilliant. Mining the faraway bases first. And Dark's already taking this 6 o'clock base as well. Oh. Saw another neural go down here. Dark just continually sending in these kamikaze infestors, looking for a neural on a tank or a ghost, trying to get something done. Here we go again. Could just get a neural on these ghosts. Yeah, there we go. Huge EMP. Oh my god. Gets every last ghost. Command center in the corner as well. Now, the trades have been so poor for Dark that if Dark doesn't actually... he's mining from so many bases. Nah, this is fine for Dark. Dark is absolutely okay. Huge run by going into the natural as well right now. Ghosts need to return to go deal with that. Instead, we're seeing the Marine Marauder come in. Knight is being spammed in the main base right now as well. This command center is not going to get lifted. This command center, orbital command, is also not going to get lifted, I think. 2 orbitals going down. Nidus is going to finish up. Is there even anything in there? The answer is a loud and resounding no. But maybe he can run out with some of the links. The answer to that is also a loud and resounding no. Now comes Dark, though, moving in with his Ultralisk Link Bane. Infestors here as well. Good scans, though. And the tank's actually doing a fair amount of damage. Good target fire. And, well, was this actually good? Was this actually good for Dark? Dark is running out of money. He's still getting a lot of income. But he's down in army supply. I think ByuN needs to go right now. ByuN needs to go across the map right at this moment. It's absolutely vital that he starts killing things. He can't just stay around forever and pretend like it's going to be okay. This base needs to be taken out. The left side base needs to be taken out. This can stay. For now. But soon will also need to die. I think that ByuN's in a bit of trouble, honestly. He has 17. Oh, ghost. Not having a planetary here is really annoying. A couple of snipes on these queens are going to get taken out. Lurker's going to get blasted as well. These ghosts trade so well with pure link. Look at his fight. Just nothing is dying. He just isn't losing units. That's the real banger here. Is that... Oh, that's a big scan. And that's a big snipe. The army is so bad here for Dark. He just lost like 1200 minerals in income. If he's gonna lose this base, this could potentially be kind of dangerous. All production is gone right now. But these workers are going to die. And there's nothing to deal with the ghost. Is there? 88 links. Is that enough to deal with 17 ghosts and 6 marines? I don't even know. There's going to be more links. There's infestors on the way. A couple of banelings. Maybe banelings are the answer? A couple of burrowed banelings. Yeah, ByuN, you need to keep going. The problem, I think, is going to be more with the medevacs than with anything else. If the medevacs go down, I don't really see a way for this army to heal back up. Because medevacs are the only unit that heals. And the healing is going to be absolutely vital. Here we see, oh... a bad boy on a suicide mission. This is going to burn out. Oh my god, the third time he gets the EMP. Didn't completely get it this time around, though. Still got a major hit. Like 5 or 6 of them. It's actually pretty big. Well, actually, is it? No, it's not. It's not big at all. The reason why it's not that big is because he's not going to be using snipes anyway. The only thing that ByuN's going to be using is the auto attack. And he needs to start using it real quick, or he's just going to straight up die. 52 supply for ByuN. 136 for Dark, who is mining from the right side. The top right side base once again. At 1 o'clock. Probably wants to start taking the... well, this is the 2 o'clock as well. And eventually maybe even the 3 o'clock. Could also once again build a hedge here once he gets the money for that. Let's end up losing this one. No need to be careful. There's actually not that much money left for Dark. This is it. This actually is it. This is the last real mining base. I mean, there's some minerals being mined here, but... If Dark takes one bad engagement, he could still lose. The question is, can he take a bad engagement with 140 links? 13 banelings and 2 infestors. Oh my god, we get another EMP also hitting the medevacs here, which might be even bigger. Here comes another infestor, this time for the fungal. No, one more EMP goes down. Does he get the medevac? Almost took out the medevac. As these fungals and these neurals, just a little bit too much. GG gets called and Dark wins this absolute banger of a game over here on Berlingrad. Wow, what a game. What a video game. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll see you all next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.